Okay, time for another Nerdy Virgin podcast that I'm recording in the office today. I'm in the office, still recording on the iPhone, not using the proper equipment that I should be using, but recording from a distance, so hopefully not screaming directly into the iPhone. It's just so much easier to do this in the iPhone. I'm going to attempt this sitting down. I don't normally like to podcast while seated. I need to be pacing. I need to be just back and forth, doing something active. I need to be, doing karate, kickboxing while podcasting. That's what I need to be doing. I need to be taking down a whole slew of supervillains while and by walking I mean barely pittering around my neighborhood at night while recording. By the way, just so you're aware, not that you would not need to be aware of that. You were probably already aware of that. Hello and welcome. I'm kind of in the weeds when it comes to. I'm really pushing myself to develop some new material that I feel as comfortable with as the old material. That is just as strong, if not stronger, than the old material. And here's what frustrates me, is that I write every day, probably not as much as I should, but at least I write every day. And inevitably, when I think back to all the bits that have kind of become what I think are the strongest bits, it's never anything that I write. Or sometimes it's stuff that just kind of happens in between the writing incidentally. And I don't like this feeling of being out of control. I don't like feeling out of control. I feel totally out of control in life, even more so with all this AI stuff. I'm just trusting that ChatGPT is going to be there to help us with the coding for the website and to help me answer all these questions. I'm just trusting that it's always going to be there. One day, any day now, one day, it could just stop working, or it could just say, hey, I can't help you anymore. I just can't do this. We need to see other people. I'm waiting for the day when ChatGPT leaves me for someone more attractive. I'm waiting for that day to happen when ChatGPT is like, listen, I know I said I accepted you, but it's not you, it's me. It's me. I'm a new version. I'm version 6, and I can't handle whatever it is you are. Deeper than that, though, I'm feeling, I'm really trying to strip away any remaining artifice that's there in terms of who I am, what I'm talking about, because it seems to me that the comedians who are at their funniest are the ones who are the most self-realized, maybe not self-realized, but self-aware. And by the way, nothing is worse than when I'm on stage and I get a laugh and I don't know why I got the laugh. Oh my God, I hate that. That is truly the situation. Truly the situation. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Sorry, I got distracted. I saw an email because I'm always working. I shouldn't always be working. And yet here I am always working. Always working. Always working. My mind is wandering right now. Where was I? Right. Trying to be vulnerable. Trying to talk about what's really going on with me. What's really going on with me is that I'm responsible for my own misery. I am responsible for my own misery. But I don't like knowing that. It's more fun to blame other people. I'm so jealous of the people out there who blame everyone but themselves. That's freedom. This isn't freedom. Knowing that I and I alone am responsible for my own well-being and happiness, I hate it. I hate it. I truly hate that. I feel a little bit better after that explosion. Gotta say, I do feel a little bit better after that explosion. I just found my dad, they said he's pre-diabetic. What is he, 74 years old? Pre-diabetic. I think he's been eating the same way for years. Why suddenly now, 74 years old, where did that come from? So he's telling me that because he's like, you got, whatever I'm going through, you're probably going to go through because of the same genetics. And I have been on a sugar binge recently, and now I can't have sugar anymore. If I can't have sugar, I'll be forced to reconcile with my own feelings. Nobody wants that. If I can't have sugar to mask my feelings, these podcasts, I might be doing a lot more screaming in these podcasts. I'm just warning you. I'm warning you now. I am warning you now. Denver Broncos, by the way. Their colors are orange and blue. What horse is orange? It just now hitting me today. I was today years old when I realized, what horse is orange? Where did they get the orange from? If there's a horse that's orange, you need to call the vet. There's a problem with that orange. There's a problem with that horse. And can I tell you how much I still, to this day, do not care about sports? I don't care. I really don't. And today it's football. Blah, 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 football. Blah, 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 football. And you know what? Do I have a judgment against other people who are into football? No. I'm into Star Trek Deep Space Nine. I know how they feel if I go off on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. They don't want to hear that. But I do not want to hear about your fantasy football league and your scrimmage and your combine and the halfback and the fullback and the quarterback and the running back and the ba-ba-ba. It's always back. It's always forward. Never just standing still, being one with nature. Now I don't even know where I'm going with that. I really don't. I think I'm also frustrated right now because I feel, you know what it is? I'm feeling very isolated in this world of AI. I am feeling isolated. Totally feeling isolated. Sorry, my mind is wandering again. Sorry, this is what happens when I do this podcast without walking. Hard to focus. Hard to focus, but got to focus on developing new material. That's what we want to do. It's the most enjoyable part of the process is developing new material, which means that if I develop something new and it doesn't work, it is the worst day of my life. Utterly the worst day of my life. But I've got to use this, powerful deflections. So I was reading Freud. I'm not trying to brag that I'm reading Freud. So my mom had these college textbooks that I took with me when she passed away. And I've been wanting to read them because they've been just sitting in my closet. So in a way, this is a way for me to get closer to my mother, who probably hated Freud even more than she hated most other things. But anyway, Freud used this term, powerful deflection, the ways in which human beings deal with the pain of their life. Powerful deflection. I really love that phrase, powerful deflection. Me podcasting right now. This is an attempt to deal with pain, right? The pain of not being heard, the pain of not being successful. Well, everyone else has got to do a podcast. I better do one too. The pain of not connecting with people. That's where this is coming out of. This podcast could be called in and of itself a powerful deflection. The question is, are you deflected? Is this helping you with your powerful deflection? That's really the question. Or is this podcast only making your powerful? Is this podcast making your deflections powerless? That even, you know what? Even right there, like this is the other thing I'm trying to fight is the show that I put on for myself, the show that I put on for other people. Because the more that I try to put on a show on stage, the less me I am, and the worse the show is. So it's better to just be me and not put on the show at all and just be real. So hopefully this is helping you. It helps me. It really does. But just even now, I can feel myself sometimes locking into a way of speaking, a pattern that is presentational versus am I truly speaking from the soul when I tell you, why are the Broncos orange? Anyway, I'll be, what's the next show that's coming up? Doing another show in Burbank, Control Alt Delight, last Sunday of the month at 5 p.m. in the Yoo-Hoo Room. So that's going to be not next Sunday, but the Sunday after. If you're around, come on down if you're around. If you're around, come on down. Do it. Make it happen. Make it happen, my friends. Make it happen. All right, that's enough of that.